Well, well, well. This is Kratos, the god of PlayStation. And I'm here again. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. I have a very, very, very special guest today. I finally was able to sign him up on a contract, get him over here. The guy flew all the way from Spain. He was on vacation. But anyway, welcome the PlayStation Bra.
What is up, Kratos? It is me, the PlayStation Bra. What is going on, my good man?
Same old, man. It's another day closer to Friday.
Oh, I know, right? Payday, thank God.
Yeah.
I am broke, dude. I am completely broke. I have like $1 to my name, okay?
I'm the same way. All those PlayStation games drop and keep it broke.
Exactly, yeah. Come on, Sony. Where's our break at, dude?
Exactly. Well, thanks for coming on here. And
of course,
we have some great topics today. A lot of stuff going on. I know week by week we kind of play it by ear. Some days are slow, some days are fast, but either way, we're going to make it last.
That's how it works, man. The website, I'm sitting there just scrolling on NeoGAF or N4G looking for articles. And the other days, man, I could write all day long and not ever finish,
Exactly. Well, I definitely going to add the website to the YouTube link, so everyone to make sure that they subscribe and go there and get their latest PlayStation news. I know that's where I get my news from. So, all right, well, let's talk about our first topic. This week we had the PlayStation Update version 5.0. I know a lot of guys speculated prior to this. Yes, we're finally going to get it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are underwhelmed. And we know what a lot of people are looking forward to, and that is the name change. That did not happen with this update, or at least it's not speculated to have happened. What are your thoughts on that? And do you know anything, any other features that this update brings?
I was kind of disappointed in the update myself. I mean, if this is the full list of what's happening with such a major milestone in the firmware update history, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of disappointed. I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, I know everybody wanted the ability to change names, but I've been hearing for months that that's just not going to happen, that the way that Sony built the network, that it would take a whole bunch of work to get that, to work right.
Yes.
Does it matter to you? I mean, do you want to change your name? Are you sad about being Kratos?
I am not, and I'm going to tell you why. Even when I was younger, and I freaking had the this PlayStation account, I wouldn't name myself something dumb. And that, I think, a lot of people, they name themselves something funny, when they're in high school or middle school, something like that. And now it's stuck with them. Now that they're grown man with these weird names, it's kind of like, please, I'm embarrassed. I can't have
Booty Slayer 18 and
exactly. They have like one guy on their friends list and nobody else don't want to join. So
yeah, my son's friend, his name is Fart Heart 16. I mean,
shout out to Fart Heart 16.
Yeah, 5-6 years from now, he's gonna be like, oh man, I can't do a YouTube channel with Fart Heart.
Exactly. Oh,
I can understand his position, but it doesn't hurt my feelings too bad. But I know there was plenty of people on my timeline and your timeline, on Twitter, just begging for it.
Yeah. I think from what I heard last generation with the PlayStation 3, remember they got hacked big time and their network went down and they had to basically build it from scratch. Well, because of that took all their net coding away and they had to build it in a secure way. And that will, they didn't want to basically lose all the data they had and all the, all the history and stuff that they had on their users. So I think we're kind of stuck with it. I mean, it sucks for a lot of guys, but at the end of the day, when I turn my PlayStation on, it's to play games. But Sony does. I'm going to agree. They do take an L for that. People should have that capability, even if you charge. They should have that capability.
I mean, if they started over with the PS5, wouldn't that kind of piss everybody off? If
Here's
you can change your name now, but all your past purchases are on the other name.
True. And one thing about that, PlayStation 5 if they were to tear everything down and build it back up, dude, that's going to take so many years.
So much resources, right?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's it for our PlayStation update. A lot of people.
I got a question for you. Did you find anything about it that you were excited about? Like,
yes, the Twitch being able to stream with the in 60 frames, 1080p.
That was big. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. That is a welcome feature. There is still one feature that some of my friends have been asking for, and I know we can record in 1080p 60, but you couldn't stream or you couldn't record in 1080p 60. One of the two. You can either stream 1080p, but you couldn't record in 1080p 60.
Stream with the Pro, I believe.
Yeah. So, that I don't have that's not a requirement for me. I'm okay with it doing. I mean, this is the generation of streaming, so I'll give them a pass. Think about it. This is the first generation we've ever been able to stream games and record and do all the the content, and so many YouTube providers has been created because of this feature. So I'll get it a pass. It's been 4 years.
I appreciated the VR, the comments when you're streaming.
Oh yes.
I've streamed my VR plenty of times, and people were messaging me afterwards. Hey man, I just stopped by and I said hi. You didn't say anything back to me. I said, dude, you can't see anything when you're doing the VR. So that's very welcome for us VR streamers.
Exactly.
The comments, it's like, hell yes.
Now that's a great feature. So it wasn't. I mean, I guess it wasn't that big of a dud. But I mean, what you and I and everyone else, shout out to everyone in the comment section. We know what we're looking for. We know the name change is like the number one requested feature. So Sony, bring it, or just flat out tell people, hey, it's not coming, but you're kicking the can down the road. You're disappointing. Yeah. You got to quit teasing us. And we had some big games to drop this week. We had Hellblade, and we also had Lawbreakers, and probably one or two other ones, but those were the biggest exclusives that Sony had coming out this week. And you either bought Lawbreakers or Hellblade or both. So Tuesday, I turn on my PlayStation, and every single one of my friends on my friend list freaking playing Hellblade.
I don't blame them, dude.
Yeah, I was looking on YouTube. It's like freaking 100 channel. Everyone, I mean, nobody was even watching. Everyone was too busy playing and streaming. So what do you think about Hellblade? Have you played it?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm loving it so far. I mean, I'll admit I was kind of in the camp that was worried that they didn't show that much gameplay during the course of development. But now that you play it, you kind of understand, most of the game when you're doing something, there's storyline segments to it. There's, could be spoilers. They kind of saved it. They saved that experience. So when you finally push the options button, almost at start, you push the options button to start the game, you're in there and you're like, oh, this is all fresh. This is all new. I don't know what's going on. There wasn't a bunch of streamers out there playing it. Yeah. It was fresh and new to the gamer, which was very welcome. And yeah, I'm loving it, man. I mean, I'm about halfway through it, and oh my God, turn the surround sound on or put those headphones on. Ooh.
Oh yeah, definitely a beast on that. Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying it. It looks beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
On my LG 4K OLED TV.
Does that have HDR10 or is that a?
Yes, HDR10. It has actually Dolby Vision and HDR10.
Holy crap, dude!
Yeah. So the guy does it big, or he goes home.
I might be a little bit jealous. Sorry.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think we can all agree. For $30, man. Think about it. For $30, you're getting a full-fledged AAA game that can compete in the graphical fidelity realm and the storytelling realm of something like Horizon or Uncharted. So I would like to say the PlayStation is the de facto king when it comes to giving you high-end graphical fidelity and showing you what its hardware can do. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah, Horizon, like you said, Uncharted 4, Infamous Second Son. If you played that on a PS4 Pro, like the difference.
Yes.
Ooh.
Drive Club and the rest of. I mean, we can keep going.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of games, that jaw dropping games out there for the PlayStation. Lawbreakers. I purchased that on PC and PlayStation. Gotta support. I'm enjoying it. I was in the beta. I like the game. One thing, I can't wait for the DLC because I do want more characters, different variety of weapons and stuff like that. I do agree when you compare it to Overwatch, every character in Overwatch is totally different and they play different.
Right.
Lawbreakers, not so much. But the graphics in Lawbreakers is astounding.
I've seen some videos.
Especially on the PC. So
I have a code, but I haven't redeemed it yet because Persona 5 Hellblade, but I'll be on there with you soon enough. We'll play some matches.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That's the way to go. Yeah. But so with these games, the latter part of this year, all of these games, every single Sony game is releasing at $39 and below. It's the budget titles, but it's the big titles. It's not, it's not the indies. It's the big AAA, the Uncharted, the Hellblades, the Lawbreakers. And is Sony trying to send a signal to the industry? Think about it. I was able to grab 2 games for the price of one, and those are 2 big major games. I think this should be a great trend for the industry.
It's funny you mentioned that though, but then you look over at Shadow of War, and they're over here announcing microtransactions for the single player game.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy more armor, you can buy more goblins and all that, and it's kind of, like you're saying, you just bought 2, fantastic games for $60, and here's Shadow of War offering what it has for 60, and then asking you, if you want a quality of life, cut through that stuff and level up faster, to spend money on microtransactions. It's like, welcome, they're doing this, and other companies are like, wait a minute, we can make a little bit more money off these guys. So
I agree.
I hope it is a revolution. I mean, that'd be awesome. I would enjoy that.
Yeah. And here's the thing about it now. Microtransactions got a bad rep when it came to the mobile market. And then the first initial console crossover microtransactions was done totally wring.
Was it Oblivion? Like the horse armor or something?
Yep. And then you had EA with their, that crap. When you buy a used game,
season passes.
Yes,
right?
Season passes, and you buy a used version of Madden. You still have to pay like $10-15 to be able to play it online. That's stuff like that. It got a bad rap.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not opposed to microtransactions. There's a classy way of doing it. For one, don't let a guy spend, 50, 20, 30, $50. He's at the top tier and he's taking out everybody below.
Right.
You have to, you have to be fair about it because not everyone should be forced to do that. I love DLC. I love the way it extends the life of a game that I play. Just keep it simple and keep it classy.
I know gaming budgets are getting bigger and bigger each year. They're not going down.
Yeah.
But still, like you said, keep it classy. Make it so that it rewards the gamer ultimately rather than just stealing a little bit out of their pocket each time.
Yeah. I hear you.
Some companies, I know, like, in China, the companies have to list the odds now of what's in the loot boxes.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
I agree.
Treat the gamers fair.
Exactly. I think the consensus is everyone is nay on microtransactions because no company has really done it well. And so that first initial sour taste that we had in our mouth.
The gold, it was golden horse armor, right? It was like, what, $4 or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yep. And keep in mind now, the worst think about this. The new Need for Speed that's coming out.
Oh, no.
Yes. I'm about to say it.
Yeah.
You get freaking blue smoke. It's like, surprise, you buy the collector's edition, you get blue smoke.
Oh my God. Bro, I got blue smoke. Kratos.
Exactly.
Oh shit, bro.
That again, EA, For several years in the past, they've been voted the worst company in America, and rightfully so. Some of the stupid things they've done, and they've earned it. So I have a love-hate relationship with EA, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon.
Oh, hey, I'm hyped for Battlefront 2, so screw you, EA, but make the best Star Wars game you can.
Nice.
Yeah. Battlefront 2. Ooh.
That's what it's all about, man. Well, okay, the next topic, and this will be the topic of the day. This is a question I'm posing to you and to everyone in the comment section. I want you guys to answer as well. Is there room for 3 gaming platforms minus the PC anymore? This is 2017. We have 3 gaming manufacturers in the console space, and Atari is going to be the number 4. Is there enough room for 3, or should we just kind of keep it at 2, have 2 people go at it and, fight for supremacy, whether that be Nintendo and Sony, or whether it be Microsoft and Sony, or whether it be, Microsoft and Nintendo? What do you think about that? Do you think it's enough room in the industry, in the console space?
Well, let me ask you something. You have a Switch, correct?
I do.
What do you consider the Switch?
I consider it a handheld. It's a handheld first to me, and I'm able to dock it and use it as a console, but I don't think it's a console first.
But ultimately, you do most of your gaming with it.
Yes,
on the go.
That's correct.
Because I've been wondering, people are over here. There's the big debate. I know. What's it? Press Start Kofi and some of his friends are all, oh no, it's a handheld. Oh no, it's a console. And
yeah, and that's the big debacle. I mean, that's the big thing. Nintendo, they market it as a console, but for their purpose. Think about it. They don't want to tell you, hey, we have another handheld here, and guess what? It's going to eat up the sales of the 3DS. So they want to say, hey, 3DS is our handheld, and we have this console here that you're able to take on the go. But get out of here. Most people play their Switch laying across the bed, or walking outside, or kicking back in the front room, the back room, or whatever.
Yeah, somebody on here just said it's a super handheld.
Yes, shout out to EJ.
That's a good one. I like that.
Switch to the super handheld, and it's a 1 teraflop, and it's very close to the specs of the original Xbox One, which, hey, if you didn't have a problem with Xbox One, you shouldn't have a problem with a Switch. It has exclusives, so
I know it is the 3 consoles is kind of a little crowded right now, because look at the Xbox. It sold what, 30 million plus.
The Xbox One?
The difference between what's the PS4 sold and Xbox One sold is what?
3 to 1.
Yeah,
it's
insane, but you need competition.
Yes.
Look, Sony wouldn't be in the place they are now if it wasn't for Microsoft just kicking their, they didn't kick their ass last gen, but they had the better features. Everybody was gaming on the Xbox. I know PS3 came back and matched sales wise.
Yeah.
But still, the console to own last gen was the 360. I had 3 different PS3s and I loved it. And I spent so many hours on it and I had so many great experiences. But that was like the de facto console that everybody had, and that everybody gamed on. They did the Netflix parties and the 1 versus 100 and Xbox Live Arcade. Microsoft, their follow-up system to the original Xbox was the best they probably ever made.
True.
I know them made 3 console, but still, it was. Yeah. They did everything right with the 360 besides the Red Ring of Death.
But think of it though. In the past, there's always been 2 major console manufacturers. You had Nintendo and Sega going at it for decades. That's just
they always pushed each other.
And they pushed each other. Yeah. And now here's the thing now. Competition is good. That's why we want, we want to have the competition. But bad competition is bad. We want good competition. We want them, to fight for our dollars. But we don't want it to be a slaughter fest where it's not making a difference. You see what I'm saying? So you have Nintendo, and Nintendo chose to go their own route. They say, hey, look.
Yeah, that's always been Nintendo, man. Nintendo's always done what they wanted to do.
That's true. Yeah. I think everyone kind of reminisce of the days of Nintendo 64 where they were just battling it out, neck and neck and fighting for stuff. And then Nintendo took the road. They said, hey, look, we're just going to focus on, not the kiddie market, but we're just going to kind of stay in our own lane. You guys can kind of fight for the high end stuff. We don't want to spend all this money on this high tech. We'd rather spend it on giving you new experiences versus resolution and all that stuff. So I think in that matter, Nintendo will always be here because they compete in their own lane. But now we have Microsoft, and then we have Sony, and then we're going to have, Atari coming up soon. I just wonder if one of those guys go away and compete with Nintendo neck and neck, will it bring us back to the glory days of yesterday, or should we have 5 and 6? Because what happens is the more people you have, the more dollars are going to be taken away from one of the manufacturers who's going to lead and create bigger things. Because right now, you have Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. They have to split the pot 3 ways.
Right.
If it was 2, obviously the more money they would have, the more sales they would have. It kind of makes the market a little bit smaller from that standpoint. And we're not going to factor in the PC. But we know technology is getting stronger and stronger, and the differences between the PC and the console will get slimmer and slimmer.
No, you think so?
I think so. I think this generation showed me that. I have a very high-end PC, and last generation, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. It's like, just graphics on the PS3 and Xbox One. It's hard to go from going to your PC to go to your PS3 and your Xbox One. This generation, I was shocked as soon as I booted up my Xbox One and booted up my my PlayStation 4. I was just ultimately shocked. I'm like, hey, look, I don't have to have that squint on my face anymore when I'm switching between the 2 platforms.
Because like The Witcher 3 on consoles, that's kind of like what, medium settings?
I think it's medium to high. Medium to high. I'm going to give it more credit because that's a beautiful game on both. Oh
consoles. Yeah, it's absolutely.
But obviously, on PC, you can ramp up everything to ultra and
yeah, it's like you can smell him. What's his name, Geralt?
Yep.
You can smell him. You can smell him sweating. Like, oh my god, I can see the sweat beating down his face. Ooh.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe Su. He just basically said what you said in one of your articles that you produced earlier today about the PlayStation VR with the camera bundle is $300 right now at Amazon.
And 3 games. Don't forget the games.
And 3 games.
Yeah.
Guys, there is no excuse. Yeah. If you've been holding off and whining and complaining about the price, guess what? Go copy.
You get Riggs, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and oh my god, I'm going blank. Some other great game that I can't remember.
and don't forget now, there's a bunch of demos that come with it. It has like
that's right.
It has like 20 demos, so you get to test all of the VR experiences. So
the last game is PlayStation VR Worlds, which is like 4 mini games, I guess you'd say.
Definitely worth it, guys. Definitely, it's a steal. I wouldn't expect this to be the case at the end of the year, so I would kind of grab that as soon as possible.
I couldn't believe it, man. I saw the news I was scrolling through Twitter and someone had tweeted at me. I was like, no way, what? I gotta share this because people have been saying to me, like, I had a poll earlier this week saying, why haven't you bought a PSVR yet? And the main reason was that the price was too high. So $100 right off the top, man. Plus 3 games, you're starting out with plenty of content to get you, ready for to ease you into the world of VR.
That's taking your excuses away.
Yeah, I know $300 is still $300, but if you're really wanting one that bad, that's a phenomenal deal.
Exactly. Okay, guys, we're gonna go with our final topic of the day. What can Sony do going forward to increase your happiness with PlayStation? Right now, this generation, right now, with all the games coming, what you're looking for, what Sony's giving you, what can they do to increase your happiness?
I know it's going to sound biased because, I run a PlayStation website and my name has, PlayStation in it, but honestly, I'm pretty damn happy with the PS4. Each and every month this year has been new quality games that I can play and be satisfied with. That's what this is all about, right? Gaming, correct?
That's right.
I mean, sure, the PS4 doesn't do as many features as maybe the Xbox One does, the DVR and all that, and the different apps. But I mean, I didn't buy my PS4 to be like, oh man, I can't wait to DVR TV or watch cable through it. I bought my PS4 to play games, damn it. And they're delivering games in spades. I mean, there's too many games at times. I'm sitting here going, I got a life, I got a wife, I got a kid, I got a job. I can't play all these games that I want to play. And my mind's over here. Come on, it's gaming time. Like last night, man, all I wanted to do was play Hellblade.
Yeah.
But my wife bought a new bed off Amazon, so we had to take the old bed frame apart, put the new bed frame together, take the old stuff out back, break it all down and all that. And there's so many games right now, and there's not enough time in my life to play them all. So
I agree.
I mean, I'm happy with the PS4. I mean, sure, maybe the UI is a little laggy sometimes, little nitpicky stuff, but for the most part, this guy's happy.
For the most part, when you boot that thing up, when you boot it up, when you boot your PlayStation up, it's to go and play a game, correct?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So a lot of people in the console space, I look at it this way. Features is a secondary option to me. Sure, it's nice to have the movie store. It's nice to have this. It's nice to have this app on there. It's nice to do this. But ultimately, what I'm buying, what I'm spending money for is for a gaming system. It's for a gaming console. And I think that's where Microsoft failed with the Xbox One. They did a reverse. They said, hey, this is a media center device that allows you to do all your apps, all of your Twitter and your overlays and all this stuff. And guess what? By the way, you can play games on it too. That approach, I think, is what did them in at the beginning of this generation.
Yeah, because when they first revealed it, it was that famous video on YouTube, it was TV, sports, football.
Yep.
They talked about games, and the commercials had games in them, but it was more of they wanted to be the center of your living room.
Yes.
Rather than the center of your gaming verse.
I agree.
And I think, and Sony was like, hey guys, we got all these games that are coming now in the future. We're getting indies. You can share this stuff. You can make, you can become a YouTube celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
The way they approached this generation was so much more focused on gaming than Microsoft.
Yeah, and Microsoft now is, I think everyone agrees, they've even said it, they're a services company. They want you to subscribe to their services. And their services is not necessarily focused on 100% of games. If you had the games, if they were getting the games that at the pace and the rate that and the quality of Sony guys, I think that would put them maybe ahead of the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. If they had the games combined with the features they have,
yes,
Sony would be like, "Oh shit!"
They would have to get their stuff together.
What do we do? Because to be honest, at the moment, Sony's just a little bit cocky.
I agree.
It's not all of them. Like I know Jim Ryan's kind of been a douche.
Yeah,
sorry, Jim, but some of the stuff you've said has been like, "Dude, do you listen to yourself when you open your mouth?"
Yeah, I get it, but you know what? I'm not going to ding them for that because they've worked. Yeah. They've worked hard from where they come from. Last generation, when they launched that freaking $600 and had a year, they launched a year later. They had a big, overwhelming, thing to, and then the hack, and then the Sony hack and the PlayStation hack, and they had a lot to overcome. They really did.
They overcame it.
They overcame it. And at the end of the day, when they walk out on the stage at PSX and E3, they shut the hell up. Sean Layden comes out. Hey guys, thank you for coming. Here's your games.
I like it.
That's it. That's all I want to hear. I don't want the fluff. I think we're at the point where we don't care about numbers anymore because they're so far ahead. They don't have to do that anymore. So, it is what it is. Shout out to Sony for providing us the content that we're asking for. Anything else is just icing on the cake. We got VR, it's the first console to have the VR experience, in the consumer brand without breaking the bank, all in one device. And it's a gaming juggernaut. and it's going to continue to be that for the foreseeable future. And I'm looking forward to the next generation.
Okay, a question I asked about the PS5. What if they had like two of them? Okay, what if one played PS4 and PS5 games, but what if they had like one like mega PlayStation that played 1, 2, somehow played 3, 4, 5, and it was just like this gaming machine? Would you be down with something like that, or would that kind of split the consumer base, or would you just rather have them just focus on
me? Ultimately, I'm just gonna tell you this. We know, just like it did this generation. At the beginning of this generation, everyone complained, "Oh, we're getting this remasters. Oh, we're playing this last gen remasters." We know that it takes 2 to 3 years to be able to pump out what you need to. So if we don't want that to happen again, and we can't ask them to keep delivering backwards compatible stuff and a bunch of old crap. At the end of the day, after I've played a generation for, let's say, 4 or 5 years, I've gotten my money worth out of it. I'm ready for the new stuff. I'll box up the old stuff, put it in the closet. And
goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye. I had a great time. I'll break you out eventually, but I do not care about backwards compatibility. It is what it is. If I wanted to play the other stuff, I'll go take my console out of the box.
I mean, that's something like about the Xbox. You have the option, if you want to play Gears 3, you could just pop it in the disc and then in your Xbox One.
I'm pretty confident that we're going to have backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 in the future. All because of the architecture. It just made it easier because it's on a x86 platform.
Here's what EJ said. What if the new stuff sucks?
Dan, you know what? We're just going to have to do what we did this generation when all the stuff came out and it sucked at the beginning. We're just going to have to hold the line. That's the Xbox guys say, hold the line. That's what we're going to have to do. Hold the line or continue playing your PS4.
I thought Killzone Shadowfall was pretty cool.
Me too. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Great graphics. Even today, it's great graphics. Again, it took us years before we were able to get the Uncharted 4. It took us years before we were able to get the Gran Turismo Sports and the Horizons and all of this stuff. Well, now, we got the Spider-Mans coming, and some of this stuff is probably going to bleed over to the next generation. And I'm A-okay with that. I'm A-okay, yes, with Death Stranding and some more games leaking over to the next generation. Why not? Why not? And ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, it is.
Damn, son.
Unfortunately, guys, the God has spoken.
Kratos, you were the man.
PlayStation, bro. Go ahead and shout yourself out. Tell people where they can find you. Tell them about the website. Tell them about what you're doing. Go ahead and do that, man.
Oh, with pleasure. As you guys know, I'm the PlayStation Bra. So if you look on Twitter, just type in, at PlayStation Bra. I'm on there. I'm on there all the time.
Definitely.
Kratos knows. We interact a few times each day and message. And then from me being on Twitter, I created my own website, which is the PlayStation Bras, BRAHS.com, which is, all the PlayStation you'll ever need. I mean, we cover, PS4, Vita, VR. I mean, we cover tons of VR. My good friend at PSVR Gaming, he gets the newest PSVR games, reviews them, talks to all the publishers. He's the man with that. So that's definitely a big part of our site. So if you're into PSVR, definitely check it out. And if you're into PS4 general or PlayStation in general, please check the website out, man. We're, a great website, and we don't try to, feed you fanboy bullshit, and we give it to you straight. We give it to you straight, man. That's something I've always wanted to. When I first started the site, I said, hey, man, I love PlayStation, but I'm not above, telling Sony how it is if I'm not happy about something.
Exactly. That's what you got to do, man.
If you want the truth, come to the site, please. Yeah.
That's correct. You've invested your money. You are an investor, so you tell them what you want. Well, guys, make sure you go and sub to the PlayStation Bra and check out the website for the latest news. He's always breaking stuff, all the latest stuff during the day. So you guys will see us retweeting and tweeting stuff.
Thanks for the support too, man. I really appreciate everyone that retweets my stuff and likes it. I mean, that just helps build the bra pyre,
Definitely, man. It's great content, man.
Everybody to help me out, I would be nothing. I can only do so much, but with the support of others, I mean, it can be so much more.
Well, that's the part of being in this in this great community that we have is, it allows us to interact, great guys in the comment section, talking to these guys all the time, seeing them in other podcasts, feel like they're my friends, communicate with them. Some of them we game together. It's just a great community to be a part of.
It is, man. I'll admit that. I never knew how great it was until I joined Twitter with this, this moniker or whatever you want to call it, and started getting into it. Like how many more gamers there was out there that had my same taste in gaming, and they agree with me. And then there's some that don't agree, but we still talk, we still chat,
exactly.
To each their own, man. I can't disrespect somebody because they don't like Uncharted, but
exactly.
Well, it's all problem.
It's all about, gaming with gamers and talking about games.
Right.
That's why we're in the hobby that we love.
You
guys can catch me here. And our next episode will be the Gods of Titans, and we will have multiple people on the panel, and it will go longer. You guys know where you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. Always keeping you guys laughing with the memes and the gifs, stirring up trouble, doing what a god does. Thanks for rocking out with me. Thanks for the support. Love you guys. See ya. Peace.